Hey everybody, Andre, welcome back. In a previous video, I spoke about the importance of books in your entrepreneurial journey, especially when starting out. And we obviously have, because we're different people, we have different personalities, we have different values, there's certain things that we're attracted to, and we don't all necessarily like, the same type of books. Obviously, from a business perspective, the most common books are books about sales, marketing, biographies about successful entrepreneurs or businessmen or investors. Okay, so what I wanted to just let you guys know very briefly is, or very quickly, make sure that the books you choose, especially when you're starting out, so you don't necessarily have money to do an online course, whether it's online or offline, maybe to as part-time college, to do a course part-time, but you can definitely start your journey. It doesn't mean that you can't learn anything. You can learn a lot from books, but specific types of books. Okay, so there's a lot of books on the market, so just be very careful what kind of books you are going to be buying and reading. Okay, and obviously generally you'll only be able to kind of buy one book at a time. For example, one book a month or maybe two books a month. You can't just go and buy a whole library. So be very specific as to what type of books that you buy. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be recommending 4 books, but not more so the books, but the type of information or the type of learnings that you're going to get from the book. Okay, so the first book is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Okay, so the importance of this book is because you're going to be in business. Okay, you're going to be working with people, so it's important to know how to speak to people. This book teaches you a lot of people skills. It's an amazing book. It's something that you should definitely read over and over. And yeah, it'll teach you how to deal with people, because nobody likes to deal with someone who's rude, who's disrespectful. Nobody likes to listen to someone who talks to people, who talks over them, or who's very condescending. Okay, so this is an amazing book. It's going to teach you how to influence people, how to actually listen, and to get people to do what you want, but also to get them, to give them what they want. So it's really an amazing book, and I highly recommend that you read How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Okay, so that's the people aspect, because it all starts and it ends with people, right? Because your business is going to be solving problems for these people, because otherwise why go into business in the first place? Okay. The second book is because now that you have the ability, or you've seen what it's like to be able to work with people, what do you do with those people? Okay, so you obviously need to sell to them. So that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to knock on doors or whatever, because whether you have a product, whether you have a service, you still need to sell them, and selling is influencing. Now we all have our preconceived ideas about what sales is. But this man right here, Tom Hopkins, I think I have mentioned him before. This is the greatest book on selling I have ever read, and I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty convinced it's going to be the greatest book that you ever read on sales as well. I know Brian Tracy's got a lot of amazing books on sales as well. I think it's The Psychology of Selling, which is absolutely phenomenal, so get that one if you can. But definitely read this book. It's a lot of information. It's more like a textbook than an actual book, and that's how you know that it's a really good book, because it's a book that's going to teach you, certain steps and and systems that you can put in place in order to sell effectively. So I definitely recommend How to Master the Art of Selling by Tom Hopkins. Okay, and then so you're going to be dealing with people. You're going to sell to the people. When you're at home, a lot of your time when you're starting out is going to go into marketing. Okay, so if you're like me, who didn't have a marketing budget when I started out, I still don't have a marketing budget. Although, from the sales that I get in, I do put it back into, campaigns. But what you want to do is, you want to learn how to market on social media. And I definitely don't think that there's a better person to teach you about social media than Gary Vaynerchuk. Okay? So these are the 2 of the books that I've got from Gary Vaynerchuk. So the first one is Jab, 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 Right Hook. Okay? This is the philosophy of Gary's. It's probably the most important thing I've learned from Gary with regards to social media. I think it's the foundation of social media, and you'll be surprised as to how many companies, successful companies, big corporates actually get this wrong online. So this is his philosophy: jab, 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 right hook. So it's give, or add value, and the right hook is then ask for business. Okay, or inform. I've also spoken about this book in a previous video. It's definitely something that I strive to every day. I don't always get it right online, okay, but it's definitely I've adopted this philosophy with regards to social media. These short vlogs is testament to that. So I'm trying to add value by sharing the things that are important to me, in my journey, thinking back to when I started out, that will help you to shorten your journey and solve some of the problems you may have that you definitely will encounter on your journey going forward. Okay, and then the other one from Gary Vaynerchuk is Ask Gary Vee. Why I recommend this book, and I also recommend that you watch at least one of these shows every day. It's extremely valuable. There's a lot of information there. For those of you who aren't aware of what Ask Gary Vee is about, Gary Vee's got a YouTube channel. Okay, it's a program or a series where people get to ask questions, on Twitter, and then he answers them. Okay, and it's a phenomenal program. It's going to add so much value, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the questions that get asked there are questions that you have with regards to not just social media, but some things that you can use offline as well. Very valuable. A lot of content. Gary's amazing at providing free content online. So I mean, there's Ask Gary Vee and Daily Vee. I got to know about Gary Vaynerchuk when I watched my first episode of Ask Gary Vee. I can't remember how I saw it, but I watched it and immediately I fell in love with the man. You're going to learn so much from this guy, okay? And I know, again, everybody doesn't resonate with everybody. He does swear a lot, so if you're a bit sensitive to, the foul language, just beware of that. But he knows exactly what he's talking about, and he's going to add a lot of value, okay? So just be careful, guys. I'm not saying specifically get these books, but I highly recommend these books. So when you are buying books, make sure you're going to buy a book that is by someone who's, successful, who's actually done what they've written about, what they've documented, because there are people who write books, guys, just like there are people who sell things online but aren't necessarily as successful, or just because they can market it well or present it very well. So make sure that you are going to be buying books from guys who actually walk the talk, practice what they preach. Okay, Tom Hopkins was an amazing seller. He was a real estate broker. That man could sell. I think he still holds one of the records in 1 year. I think he sold 300 just under 370 houses a year. That's literally averaging one house a day that you sold. I mean, that's crazy. Who does that? We obviously know Dale Carnegie. Back in the day, he was an amazing businessman, multi-millionaire, and he was recognized and well known for being able to work with people. And obviously Gary Vaynerchuk, he knows about social media. So you're going to be selling. When you're starting out, you're going to be using social media as your platform because you don't necessarily have a big marketing budget, or you can't employ an agency to do that for you, so you're going to be doing it yourself. So you need to learn the fundamentals, okay? So make sure you're buying books that are going to equip you, books that you can, practical books, okay? I think that's what I'm looking for, practical books, that you can take the information and apply it into your business and execute and take action on it almost immediately, because that's what it's about, okay? So I hope the video helped. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Cheers.